first like to start with number 65, the sternocleidoid mastoid. The origin points are here on the clavicle and the sternum, and the insertion is back here on the mastoid process of the temporal bone. Next is number 66, which is the trapezius. It has two origin points back here on the external occipital protuberance and superior nuchal line. There is no insertion point as those go to the clavicle and scapula. Next is number 67, which is the epicranius occipital belly. The origin point is back here, number 67, with the insertion point being up here. The frontal belly of the epicranius is going to be found here. Up here we have our origin point, and down here we have the insertion point. This is for the epicranius frontal belly. Next is number 68, the orbicularis oculi. The origin point is right here, while the insertion is over here. Next, we have number 69, corrugator supercilii. The origin point is down here, while the insertion point is up here. Number 70, we have a couple different origin points for the orbiculus oris. The first one is right here, number 70. The second origin point is right here, number 70. Now the insertion points, the first insertion point is found right here, as you can see right there, while the second insertion point is found right here. This is for the orbicularis oris. Next up is number 71 with the buccinator. This one as well has two different origin points. The first one can be found here, and the second origin can be found on the mandible right here. Next up is the insertion points. The first insertion point we can see right here. The next insertion point can be found also on the mandible, which is right here. Next, we're going to go with the rhizorus. The origin point of the rhizorus can be seen here, number 72, and the insertion point is seen here, number 72. Next up, we have number 73, which is the levator labii superioris. The origin point is right here, number 73, while the insertion point is right down here, number 73b. Next, we have the levator labii superioris alacanazi, with its origin point being here, and the insertion points being here and here. Number 74 there. Next up is number 75, the zygomaticus major, The origin point is right here for the zygomaticus major, while this is the origin, while the insertion is right down here, number 75. Next, for number 76, we have the zygomaticus minor. Origin point is right here, with the insertion point being right down here, right there. Next up, we have number 77, the levator anguli oris. Origin is found here, insertion point is found here. Next is number 78, the depressor anguli oris. The origin can be found here at the bottom, number 78A, while the insertion point is up here, 78B. Number 79 is the depressor labii inferioris. The origin is found down here, while the insertion point is found up here. That is again for number 79, the depressor labii inferioris. Number 80 is the mentalis. The origin is found here on 80A, with the insertion point being 80B. So again, origin of the mentalis is on the mandible midline, while the insertion is down here on the chin. Number 81 is the platysma. This one has no origin as it is connective tissue covering the chest muscles, while the insertion point can be found in two places, our first being here on the muscle around the mouth, and the second insertion point can be found here where my thumb is. This is the lower border of the mandible. So once again, this is for the platysma. Next up is number 82, the masseter. Origin point is here, 82, that is on the zygomatic arch, while the insertion is down here on the mandible, insertion of the masseter. Next is 83, which is the temporalis. The origin of the temporalis is on the temporal fossa, so this is our number 83 right here. While the insertion is the cornoid process of the mandible, more specifically the inner surface, so 83 is found here. That's the insertion for the temporalis. Number 84 is the medial pterygoid. The origin is found on the lateral pterygoid plate, which can be found right here. Number 84. That is the origin, while the insertion can be found on the angle of the mandible, which is right down here, number 84. And finally, we have number 85, which is the lateral pterygoid. The origin of this one is on the greater wing of the sphenoid and lateral pterygoid, which is a lateral surface. Can be found 85, which is right here. As you can see, it's on the greater wing of the sphenoid and lateral pterygoid surface, while the insertion can be found here. This is the insertion here and here. This is the pterygoid fovea and the TMJ capsule.
We have the digastric anterior belly origin and insertion. We have the myohyoid origin. We have the myohyoid insertion. We have the stylohyoid origin, and then we have the stylohyoid insertion. We have the glenohyoid origin, and then we have the glenohyoid insertion. We have the sternohyoid insertion, and then we have the sternohyoid origin. We have the sternohyoid insertion. We have the sternohyoid origin. We have the omohyoid insertion, omohyoid origin. We have the thyrohyoid insertion. We have this thyrohyoid origin right here. We have the thyrohyoid insertion right here. Thyrohyoid origin right here. We have the genioglossus right here, and a genioglossus on the midline of the tongue. We have the styloglossus right here, styloglossus on the tongue right there, insertion. Then we got 96A, the stylopharyngeus right there, the origin.
Superior pharyngeal constrictor, origin. Superior pharyngeal constrictor, origin. Superior pharyngeal constrictor insertion. Middle pharyngeal constrictor, origin. Middle pharyngeal constrictor insertion. Inferior pharyngeal constrictor, origin. Inferior pharyngeal constrictor insertion. Palatoglossus, origin. Palatoglossus insertion. Palatopharyngeus. Levator belli palatini in origin and insertion. Tensor belli palatini, origin and insertion. Muscle of the uvula. Pteromandibular raphe insertion. Pteromandibular raphe, origin. Median pharyngeal raphe. Mediopharyngeal raphe. Median palatine raphe. Intermediate tendon. TMJ capsule. TMJ ligaments. 109. Sphenoid mandibular ligament. Stylomandibular ligament.